Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to some more 8th anniversary content, and we probably have one of the two most hyped EZAs we've ever gotten at any period of time, let alone an anniversary, with the year 5 fusions. First up, we've got EZA Gogeta. I do have one dupe in him, the only unit out of the two I do have a dupe in. Unfortunately, would love to have a dupe in Vegeta as well. I would love to have these units rainbowed, but since they've released, just hasn't meant to be. But they are both level 10 links. First up, of course, we do have Gogeta Blue, who goes on some very good 200% leads under Beastless Gohans. You have the category that forever gets buffed, which is the year 7 blues, like forever gets buffed. And then the likes of Orange Piccolos, who unfortunately I don't have. He also links very well with units such as the year 7 blues, EZA transforming Gogeta Blue, Tech Godku, also the year 8 units. Like, there's a plethora of units he links really well with. Also, Birdcoo's another one on top of that. He has a very good setup next to him. Also, EZA VB is another good setup with him and Gogeta. But yeah, so not only is Gogeta's EZA, of course, amazing, but as I said, he has a very good setup, some very strong 200% leads, and I can't wait to try him out. So turn 1, we're starting with 325k attack stat, 124k defense. We do have prepared for battle and fierce battle active. We will trigger like legendary power, things like that. And we're starting out just missing out on the 18 key. We're missing it by literally a singular key sphere, but he does get key +4 when attacking, so we're fine. And we're starting with a 4.86 million attack stat. Remember, I only have one dupe in the Gogeta. And this is also just the beginning. So it starts with attack and defense plus 140% after EZA and gets key +4 when attacking. So if you do kind of fall short in terms of key with these units, don't worry. They'll get a bunch when they do start attacking the enemy. He'll also launch an additional attack. There's a 70% chance of becoming a super attack as the first or second attacker in a turn. Also combined with dupes, helps him stack up a lot quicker because on both 18 and 12 key, he will stack attack by 30% every time he super attacks, which Vegeta also does. So these units will continuously get stronger and stronger. The only difference is on 12 key, he'll raise his defense by 30%. On 18 key, will raise his defense by 50%. And if you have dupes, and if that 70% chance to launch an additional super does end up triggering, you could potentially super attack 3 times in one turn, which means you could stack 3 times in one turn, which is great, especially getting his attack up as much as possible while you're in like harder content like Red Zone and the Shadow Dragon event. But also, before he transforms into blue, that's a 50% defense raise and then 2 30% defense raises on top of that. So if the additional supers pop, not only are you stacking, not only are you doing a bunch of damage even before Gogeta is transformed, but you're also getting your defense into a pretty solid spot as well. Not only that, Gogeta will also launch an additional super attack and have a 70% chance of evading enemies' attack as the third attacker on the turn. So even if you don't want to run him on main rotation, not only is he going to be doing good damage, have solid defense, especially if all the supers do pop, but you can also utilize a 70% chance to dodge if you don't feel like running on main rotation, or maybe if you feel like running the 170 lead, or the one, is it 170 or is it 180 now? It is 170. If you feel like running on his 170 lead because you want to run dual Gogetas, you could have one main rotation and have the other one on slot 3. You could do that if you want to as well. And then, of course, on top of that, we'll get a 100% defense when attacking. And then, of course, transform on turn 4, which is still very, very good transformation conditions all these years later. So what have we got now? We're going to trigger over in a flash with God Goku. We're up to 447k attack stat, literally only off of one super attack. So he's literally only stacked once. One dupe I did get in him didn't pop. The 70% chance of an additional super in his passive also didn't pop. But one thing I do love about these units are not only are their EZAs absolutely insane, not only are the year 5s probably some of my like hype units we've ever gotten back. We're up to 5.32. Hopefully we do get an additional super. Not only all of those things, and also this Gogeta Blue still has some of the best animations in the game in my opinion. There's the additional, which is great. But yeah, not only they're viable, not only their EZA is insane, not only are the year 5 fusions back, but they're just so much fun to use, or they're going to be so much fun to use, and they also have so much versatility. You know, both their kits are pretty much identical, but you have a plethora of super attacks if you have dupes. You have an additional built in, you put them as the third attacker, they keep the additional, they can also dodge. Decent defense, again, if the additionals pops as well. Great transformation conditions, and they're just both utterly ridiculous, and they both have very good setups already. So yeah, it's just good to have the Year 5 fusions back, man. As I said, I really do wish I had both these units rainbowed, or at least at the bare minimum, I wish I had dupes in both of them rather than just Gogeta. But it's fine. It's fine. Because I know VB is absolutely ridiculous with like at Rainbow and with dupes, so even at 55%, he's probably still going to be very fun to use and very good. Like, I don't doubt that. That's another unit I'm going to have to remember to put skill orbs onto, but I can't wait to use them as well. Like, just using both of them, as I said, is going to be a whole lot of fun. Which, you know, Dokkan's a game. That's a big bonus point in my book, if the unit is a lot of fun to use. That's like Gogeta, Vegeto's the better unit, I can't wait to try him, but Gogeta overall definitely has it for me. Definitely has it for me, just because I think his animations are some of the best in the game. Like, they just are. And during this entire video, should have their new OST playing as well, which is another great thing they did, which didn't think they were going to do, had no reason to. Gave both Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue new OSTs, which will be in the background of the video. Okay, how are we linking up now? So we've got Super Saiyan Warrior Gods and Fierce Battle. We will trigger Legendary Power and stuff like that. And now that he's transformed into Gogeta Blue, let me quickly pull up the details so we can keep up. So, of course, they do stop stacking. So, what you're going to want to hope for when it does come to, like, Red Zone and the Shadow Dragon event, basically difficult content, is you're going to want to keep your fingers crossed and hope that the additional supers in the passive, and if you have dupes, do also pop, so you can stack them up as much as possible before they do transform, because of course, no matter what, it's not an active, they're going to transform when they transform. So hopefully the additional supers do pop by the time you do get to turn 4. Obviously there's only so much you can do, there's only, you know, you'll only go up to a certain extent just because you do have that 4-turn restriction. But as I said, in difficult content, hopefully the additional supers are popping. But after a few supers, and now that we got Gogeta Blue out, we're on up to a 748k attack stat. Let's grab him some orbs. Again, shouldn't be too much of a problem because he does get given key in his passive, and like a bunch of it, like a whole bunch of key. Of course, you also have the guaranteed dodge once they transform as well, which is a great utility to have in difficult content. Basically a free turn with them. We're actually just short of an 18 key, so that's actually a shame. But look how good these animations are, man. These are still some of the best in the entire game years later. Like 3 whole years later, and these are the Gogeta, LR Gogeta Blue's animations are still out there as some of the best. Like, to me, it's not up for debate. That guaranteed dodge, great to have, a great utility to have. Now gets attack and defense plus 150% and then key plus 5, which is very, very nice, especially if you do struggle for key. We'll launch 2 additional attacks, each which have a 30% chance of becoming a super attack, and have, of course, in typical Gogeta fashion, all attacks effective against all types as the first or second attacker in a turn. We'll then get key plus 7 and launch an additional super attack and have a 70% chance of evading enemy's attack as the third attacker in a turn. So again, if you don't even feel like running one main rotation, or maybe you just bring a stacked team, and maybe he just doesn't fit, or maybe depending on what event you're taking on, what stage, what phase, doesn't matter, you're like, I'll slot him into slot 3. You can utilize that 70% chance to dodge, you can utilize the additional, and you can also utilize the key plus 7 as well, which is very, very nice. And then he'll also get an additional key plus 1 up to 5 in attack and defense, plus 22% up to 88% with each attack performed, which with the built-in additionals, you're going to build that up so quickly. Like, you literally need to attack a total of, well, technically you need to attack, what was it, 4 times, but the key is 5, so technically in total to get the key as well, you need to attack 5 times, which again, with the built-in additionals, and again, factoring in dupes, if you do have dupes in Gogeta Blue, you'll be able to build that up in no time, like literally no time. And to end off the passive, we'll perform a critical hit when activating the active skill, so we'll do a lot of damage on the active with a guaranteed crit, or when key is 24, which the total of your key, which will be a total of 10 key once you've built up the passive and the key they get at the start of turn, combined with links, might be happening a bit more frequently than you think. But then, of course, on 12 key, Of course, I said now stop stacking will raise attack and defense by 50%. An 18 key will raise defense by 50% for 3 turns, so he'll also mini stack, which is great. The amount of defense these units can get to with the built-in additionals, and then with the potential of an additional super attack from the dupe system as well, once they are fully built up after those 3 turns, once the passive is also fully built up, and if all those additional supers potentially pop, not only are you doing a bag full of damage, not only is the possibility of crits if your key is 24, and again factoring in dupes, and naturally Gogeta Blue is a strength unit, so we'll have at least 5 crit and then potentially skill orbs bringing it up as well. But you will do a bag of damage in total, have a whole bunch of defense, and just do insane amounts of damage off an initial super attack anyway. As I said, it's so good to have these units back, but right now we have every link active with transforming Gogeta Blue and Blue Boys on rotation. We have a 1.6 million attack stat and 215k defense. We ain't even super jet. We ain't even super attack for 3 turns, which is ridiculous. We're about to get Gogeta Blue a whole bunch of key on top of that as well, along with the fact he's going to build up his key anyway depending on how many attacks he does. I'm just hoping transforming Gogeta Blue doesn't pop an additional because of that guaranteed crit. But as I said, it's so good to have the year 5s back, man. These EZAs are generally ridiculously good. I think we're only going to manage to squeeze in 1, but that's fine. So every single link active, 12.5 mil. We also got the 24 key, which means we're guaranteed to crit. And look how good the animations are, bro. They're still so good. 9.5 milli on the crit. 9.5 milli on the crit. The only thing we may not see, which is fine because it already exists, it's not a new unit, is the active skill, which of course can only be activated when facing one enemy, which is great because literally all the difficult content is you facing one enemy. But of course, their HP has to be at 50% or less, which isn't that difficult, but, you know, there could easily be a number of times where, you know, say you're in against any of the red zone stages or, you know, the new Sin Shenron stage out in global. Let's just say you get them down to 50% HP, but you get them down to 50% HP after the super attacks start flying. And then by the time you're ready to finally hit the you know, the active skill, between the turn you just had with Gogeta Blue on it, where you're just not quite at 50%, and then the next turn where you've done enough damage, you may end up killing the enemy. Now, I don't think that would happen too frequently where you never see his active skill. I don't think that would ever happen, but you could get quite unlucky and do a bag of damage on that turn, but the enemy's HP won't be at 50% or less to trigger it quick enough, and then do a bag of damage on the following turn and miss it. I can easily see that happening here and there, but this is an active skill you will get to see a lot of the time. And of course, after stacking, after building them up, greatly raise your attack temporarily and doing ultimate damage. Oh, and the guaranteed crit, it's gonna be, as Future says, sensational. Sensational. Just in case, let me pop that. I think we have all links active again, right? Yeah, we do. What we start in this turn off with 1.81, 365k defense. And again, that's 365k defense, which I think this is the final turn we super and get his defense fully built up. So you're looking in the realms of, with one dupe, 200% lead, level 10 links, after 3 turns of mini stacking his defense, you're looking at the realms of what? 400k defense once he's finished, I think. And again, with the potential of hitting 3 super attacks, if those 30% chance of launching additional supers in his passive pop as the first attacker in a turn, or second attacker in a turn with the initial super, 14.2 mil. Again, we got 24 key, that's going to guaranteed crit. But that's 150% defense raise or 150% attack and defense raise. Then potentially another one, and then the dupe system could be 4. So his defense would be in the realms of like 600k plus, maybe? And again, if you don't have him on main rotation, that's like 600k plus defense if all them supers do end up popping, with a 70% chance to dodge, while doing 14-15 million on a super, and all the amount of damage he may also do on all the additional supers combined with that. So as you saw there, man, these, it's so good. It's so good to have them back. New OSTs, the animation's still absolutely ridiculous. Some of the best in the game, especially Gogeta Blue. The amount of damage, the amount of defense, honestly ridiculous. Great versatility as well. Good 200% leads, good setups, good links. It's good to have them back. And I cannot wait to take these units into Red Zone and into the Shadow Dragon event. But let me know down in the comments what you think of these EZAs. They are generally ridiculous. If any of you guys got these guys rainbowed, let me know what they're putting out. And let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite, or which one do you prefer? Do you prefer EZA Gogeta Blue or EZA Vegeta Blue? Let me know. I'll see you next video, guys. Take care of the rest of your day and push.